Another problem that Disney has had this year is Lucasfilm and their Willow reboot or sequel series, whatever you want to call it. Personally, I choose to ignore the Willow series. All you need is the original movie. There was no reason to bring Willow back. No reason at all. But they did anyway, and they decided to make the focus of the show a woke one. Naturally, this didn't work out very well, as the ratings are pretty much in the toilet for the series. Some of the worst for Disney ever. I talked about this in a video yesterday. These are some of the worst ratings that Disney Plus has seen yet. Asamba TV reported only 481K households watched Willow in its first 5 days. That's sad. That's pathetic. Nobody watched it. Nobody was interested in this. Nobody's interested in this, especially the way they marketed it. And it backfired. Nobody tuned in for it. I mean, look at some of the headlines that you were seeing for this. I had this up first. How The Last Jedi's Luke inspired Warwick Davis's Willow show return. So you already have these kind of influences there. Nobody liked the Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. That's why everybody calls him Jake Skywalker, because it's not really Luke Skywalker. It's a fake version. Mark Hamill said this himself. He didn't have a lot that he liked about that. But Willow is not doing well. They're not even selling merchandise from the new show, even though they have that headline up here at the top. This is at shopdisney.com. And make sure to put the new Willow series up here. But when you look at the merchandise, it's all based on the old movie. All of it is. It's all based on the movie, not the show. Because they know nobody's going to be interested in that bullshit. It's not going to sell anything. But this is kind of unfortunate. See, all the figures sold out. They're all in back order. Why is it unfortunate? Well, it's unfortunate because it might get the show a season 2. You've got Jonathan Kasdan begging Kathleen Kennedy for a season 2. Oh, Kathleen, I know the ratings were bad. Some of the worst ever. But please maybe consider bringing the show back for season 2. We can make it work this time. Please, I'm on my knees begging you, Kathleen Kennedy. Willow showrunner Jonathan Kasdan talks about lobbying Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy to greenlight a second season of the fantasy series. He says he's doing this on behalf of Warwick Davis, who also wants to see a season 2. This is all from comicbookmovie.com. Willow interview writer John Kasdan on assembling the perfect cast, possible season 2, and Solo exclusive. Wants to make Solo 2 happen. No. Nobody wants Solo 2. That's another movie that lost money. That was the first time that I think you ever saw Star Wars bleed. Imagine, Solo lost money. A Star Wars movie losing money. That's unheard. You would have never thought that would be possible. 10 years ago, 12 years ago. You would never think that. What? A Star Wars movie lose money? No. It does happen now. Star Wars has lost a lot of its magic, partially because, in fact, let me change it. Mostly because of Kathleen Kennedy, who has done her best to run Lucasfilm into the ground. That Indiana Jones thing, if all of those rumors are true, that is going to be, the Star Wars backlash was on a whole nother level. But I think backlash for the Indiana Jones stuff, if it's true that he dies and gets erased from time and Phoebe Waller-Bridge takes up the mantle and replaces him in time, therefore erasing the original trilogy of Indiana Jones movies, and she's the one that ends up doing them, that is going to be legendary backlash. I just don't get it. Now, of course, all that's rumor, and it could be fake, but, it does sound like something that she would do. I mean, look at everything that she's done. Willow's been ran into the ground. Star Wars has been ran into the ground. Hell, why not run Indiana Jones into the ground? Run it all into the ground. Destroy it all. I mean, that seems to be the thing. Every time they take a franchise and revive it, they destroy it. And you see what happens. That's why these are some of the worst ratings for Disney Plus ever. But these people, I mean, they have to go out and beg for a season 2 now. Begging Kathleen Kennedy for a season 2. Begging her. Why don't you just do it right the first time? You know, you could have brought this back if you had just done a really good fantasy show that didn't revolve around any kind of woke message. If you had just tried to do something fun with fantasy stuff, people would have been pretty happy, I think, to a point. You never please everybody, and that's true. But you would make more people happy if you just did some fan service, made a good story, and put it out there. It would have gone over a lot better. But no, they decided to make the show about 2 women in love, and that's just not what people were looking for in a Willow show. I don't know. It's like they sit down and come up with these ideas. Okay, all right, we're going to take this franchise. What kind of messaging can we put out there front and center and use this franchise to get people to go see it? And it just, I mean, has this ever worked? It's never worked. Now, what's happened? You've destroyed this franchise. You can't really do anything with it now. Hell, you've even in some ways damaged the original movie. Just like in a lot of ways, the Lucasfilm stuff damages the original trilogy by starting all this bullshit around it. It doesn't help. It does more damage than it does good. All of this stuff dilutes it. So, like, you know, the original trilogy could have lived forever. And I'm talking about Star Wars here. But now you've tired so many people out on it. Like, how many people are going to introduce that trilogy to their kids now? I'm not going to introduce mine to it because I don't want them to become fans of it only so that they can become disappointed. And I think a lot of people are going to do that, and this will kill the franchise. Because if kids don't get into it, how are they going to share it with theirs in the future? So it's a problem. You're destroying these franchises that you could have used to, you know, milk in more audiences over time, but instead you decided to kill it for a short-term game, and you sacrificed the long-term. So congratulations to you, Disney. You fucked yourself. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video, comment below, hit that notification bell, check out my Rumble, my locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.